as the Senior Special Advisor to Wiki on Community Development and Special Duties, self-appointed, right? Yeah, so about a week ago, I made a video, that I posted online, raising concern about the now behavior of the military as compared to 30-40 years behind. And I raised some very salient points when I complained about. And I also, had interactions with some young military officers. And unfortunately, that concern when I raised just happened last week, Friday, thereabout, for Banex, for Abuja here. You see, the reason why we go continue to the talk is we cannot sit and watch our country gradually crawling into anarchy. Now, a lot of persons don't understand what it means. For instance, if a country like Nigeria gets into war, most people, they talk about the civil war what happened some years ago. Now, we dey forget, say, as at those days when that civil war even happened, the kind of sophisticated equipment and machines when we get now, not available as at then. So if anything happens to Nigeria today, we risk a very high level of not surviving what will come out of it. And that is why for people like us, we keep talking. And I want to specifically call on again the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T. Lagbaja, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. The truth is, the then military we know is not the military officers we know right now. And I told you at my last video, I said you must look back to when people like Una joined the military some years ago. How the military be, how the military was respected then, and look at what is happening now. For that my last video, I raised concern, say, it is very appalling. Say these days, boyfriend and girlfriend go get problem. You go call military officer. Say because you be girl, you get the military officer number. That's what played out at Banex from the investigations that I've made. I've asked questions. I've pulled calls across. I don't go there speak with some of them. Somebody buy phone, according to them, iPhone 15, Pro Max or whatever. Now the phone get problem. You go back to go discuss with who you buy them from. You've not come to conclusion. Even if the person no agree or he no one listening to you. I know Banex Plaza very well. They get police post there. You not go report for that police post because it is a civil matter. It's a civil matter. The Nigerian military had no reason to go there. Because military officers, you go pack military officers, come they settle civil matter. It pained me because I cannot sit and watch the kind of humiliation they gave to those military boys. Unfortunately, now they put themselves for that condition. How will civilians pound on military officers? They clear them, they hit them, they slap them like how? Why? Have we gotten to that level that what we can refer to as our last resort, nice civilians don't they see finish? Military officers, like seriously, that they play military officers like saying are common boys for streets with uniform. I think this calls for a very serious level of thinking, intelligence. The coerce and the Chief of Defense Staff must sit and know what has gone wrong. Why are our military boys putting themselves in this kind of situation? It's painful, but now they put themselves for this see finish. And now they don't pack military full Banex. It's a civil matter. We are not going to war for crying out loud. We are not. And the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff must understand this. We don't feel they bring all our military minds against poor Nigerian civilians. So what do we tell the world? Where is our strength as a nation? So please, it's a civil matter. The Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of army staff must come together and sit and say that respect, whether they respect army officers before, whether they respect navy, whether they respect air force, whether they get for the military. You 30-40 years ago, wetin happen? You must sit and rethink. You cannot force the people to respect you. You get your own position on yourself then when make people get respect for una. This is a democratic system of government, and we must understand this democracy. It is, and democracy must always take its course. We not fit dey do like say we dey do have democracy, have military. If we want to go into the military regime, let's know. But if it's democracy, then we must abide by the rules and play by the games of democracy. It dey painful, and the reason why people like us continue to dey talk, we don see crisis o. We don see crisis o. The small one wey happen for Warri, I know people when I get as friends wey kpai. I know people wey kpai when I know wey be my friends. When Warri crisis set, more than 40-something people now stay my house. Now it's a college, now I grow. My mom was a teacher then. More than 40-something people lived with us in our house. I know they talk say story, I don't mention them. So when he said nothing, say you where they go see peace. That is why we keep talking. Because we cannot afford to go into war with ourselves for that matter. Even though it was not my will, I was subjected to not sleeping at night, even during the daytime with a guide. I don't know how crisis takes start. So people don't know, and I just they look this thing like play. If it happen, peace not there for anybody. So the chief of army staff, the chief of defense staff must call your boys. That it not be civilian just know that just go carry the call for anything. They just wear uniform, our expected uniform. Come up barracks. What do we portray to the outside world? What do we portray to the outside world? Our military 40 years ago, 35 years ago used to be very respected. That they fear them. Your fear army sucks. But what did happen these days? So please, the military guys must get out of Banex right now. Let the police, take charge of the situation, do their investigation, and bring those who should be brought to book. And the military must also, as a matter of importance, court-martial those boys. Going by waiting, they say it happen. It's not an official duty. They are not meant to come and drag for phone where person buy when no they right. We don't see problem now make with a shout all this one that they do, if problem set, nobody for the country go no peace. So the president must call the coas, must call the chief of defense staff, sit with them, and let's think on how to re-strategize the whole military sector in such a way that we'll go back to our glory. Our military boys must be respected. It is unacceptable that any civilian raises his or her hands against our military officers. It is unacceptable. We will never commend it. We will never be in support of it. But then, our military boys and girls must understand their role in the society, most especially in a democratic system of government. I look forward to seeing the coas speeding into action with the chief of defense staff. As a matter of fact, with all of the chiefs of staff, chief of defense staff, chief of air staff, chief of naval staff, all the chiefs must come together and think how they can restore the lost glory of the Nigerian military back. We cannot wait to celebrate our young boys and girls who had put their lives on the line to protect the territorial integrity of our great nation. Thank you very much. I will continue to make this clarion call to all the chiefs until the necessary thing is done.